our position is you are donated. And anything donated to you, a member on this side, the honorable member, pointed out the short 3 days, and the project manager at the end of the contract gets an award of a double cabin. And we are wondering whether it's collusion. On my side, I will agree that this is evidence of collusion. He was being appreciated for the good work. And by virtue of the fact that it was a direct procurement, contract manager, you really carry a heavy load. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chen, then Honorable Boaz.
Thank you, Chair. On the double cabin, I would want to know, because in government, in most instances, when you are disposing any asset, should have been informed by a report of the Auditor General. Is there any report of the Auditor General that convince you that this double cabin should be disposed? And then two, in event that there was such report, did you do board of survey on this? And then three, were there a valuation report by the government valuer to determine the value of those double cabin or the Pajero? If so, do you have a report of the contract committee approving the disposal method? If so, then which disposal method did you use? That's on the double cabin. And then on the change of scope, as from Kampala to Malaba and then to Kampala Mukono, what formed the ground or justification for the change of scope? And then two, did this change, was it submitted and approved by Parliament against the borrowing? And then, Honorable Chair, board is especially on issue of governance of an organization. Could you please ascertain the qualification and experience of the members of board of URC, such that this committee can assess their governance capacity in steering this organization, corporation forward? Lastly, Honorable Chair, I see from the faces of the members, of the witnesses, admission of guilt. Could there be
all of them?
Any member, some? Honorable Chair, even the Bible says when you admit and you seek for forgiveness, you can be forgiven. Is there any member who want to admit public that he or she took this money and used it in a way that was not recommended and is requesting for forgiveness of this committee? If you could give that opportunity, we may be lenient, or we may even conclude as fast as we didn't expect. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Boaz.
Thank you, Chair. Most of the things I wanted to ask has been asked by the colleague, but me, I just want to get a confirmation from these people who received these 4 cars. In their view, did they see the 3 vehicles being depreciated within the 3 years, that they cannot be returned to the government? And what was the mileage of these vehicles at the time of the disposal? Thank you.
Each vehicle, just information, each vehicle was bought at about 185 million.
Yes, I want to confirm.
And they used them for about 3 years.
3 years only. So, in their view, these vehicles had depreciated in 3 years from 185 million to the 30 million they paid.
And they paid, one paid the double cabin 30 million.
And one got it free.
One got it free. Interesting.
Honorable Sebamala.
Chair, mine. Thank you, Chair. Mine is to the Minister. Honorable Minister, this was an export loan. An export loan that was delivered to Cabinet. It was delivered with its contractors inclusive and cost and work method. And you as Cabinet approved this nonsense. Sorry to use that word. Very sorry. But you go, a contract is received, it has Imathia, it has Transcom, it has what, you receive it, approve it, present it to the national economy as is. Now, URC is stuck with what you have approved. We are now nursing the operationalization of something. URC now had to go into how to operationalize what you have brought to them and imposed on them. Now their problem is you also wrongly operationalized the report, the contract that was signed. So my questions to you are operational. The policy level, we had a problem. We brought in a company and a loan, exported it as is and imposed it on someone. So the minister, I want you to tell us whether that was viable, such that we don't see this again happening in any other contract. I don't want us to see signing another contract of Transcom, is it Trans something, and Consult Trans, from where to where, with the same terms. But that aside, you, when you came to operation, how would you accept as an MD to now operationalize something that was going to... Why didn't you send it back? That is one. For the vehicles, how could you accept a gift from a contractor? However free it was, even if it was actually given back to, in that arrangement of it is now for the contractor, done. Couldn't you accept something else? What is your name again? Mr. Project Coordinator. And? Okanang. Couldn't you at least go and buy your own car? Couldn't they even give you money and you can buy your own car? Would you just get a vehicle that has just gotten from a contractor to you? Well aware that this is something that everybody has been seeing around. You're the project coordinator.
He's going to respond.
Actually, what do they call it? What do they call it?
That language is not permitted.
It is, but the speaker used it in Parliament the other day.
No, our rules.
But what I'm saying is, what you know English better, Sir Chairman. How do they say that somebody was caught with what he has stolen?
Like that one.
With evidence.
The
like
way
that.
you say it,
in
yes.
that English.
Red-handed.
Well, swag.
Maybe
because that is being your radar.
Honorable Fred can help us.
In which language? Literature. So, he has been got red-handed. Whether you got it with the right procurement, whether it was just given to you, you're done. Because now everybody knows we are being appreciated for something. Yet we see this is wrong. From the word to go from from cabinet to us to you.
Okay.
Chair,
Honorable.
Chair, I don't want Honorable, you were in camera, to say cabinet was wrong. To us, cabinet, which is chaired by my president and the chairman of the Mighty Party, and parliament did their work. So I want to be on record as someone in part of people in charge of government, that cabinet and parliament will okay. The mess was maybe with the technical officer. That's the clarification, Honorable Chair.
He has withdrawn. Yeah, just a minute, Honorable. We were looking for wagons, and we have come to discover that last year you sold 82 wagons as scrap. So I want you to explain to us how, and in Uganda, how you sold 82 wagons here in the country as scrap. Then this contractor got, and he got a contract, what Honorable also was saying about refurbishing the rail at a certain amount of money. But he later got an exemption, so he saved money. But you still paid the total amount. The third, yes, the Minister of Finance wrote asking for an exemption for everything that was coming. Section 7, specifically 10, monitoring, states the URC project manager shall supervise and approve consultants' monthly report within 10 working days period. After submission, this approval shall be the basis upon which payment of the consultant's monthly invoice shall be done. It means no payment was done without the project manager's approval. Now, the first question is, you budgeted for 15 experts to fly in, but as per the last meeting, we saw 2. So the budget was 39,750 euros. This is...
Mum, I don't know what to do.
I've looked online.
45 minutes for eggs. What, are we fertilising them? I've tried writing it down. I even asked the big man. No. How can dinner be this hard? Every plate's speedy beef bolognese. 4 steps ready in 20 minutes. Wait, I don't have to import water from Italy? God, that was easy. Dinner without the drama.
You again had 6 workshops in Kampala, and you told us you went to Silver Springs. Luckily enough, we have managed to retrieve the LPOs, the amount of people you had paid for to eat that day. But you budgeted for 36,000 euros for 6 workshops. We have minutes for Silver Springs. Maybe you can tell us where you spent this money. But the project manager still approved the payment. You further budgeted for 274 million roughly, an equivalent of 63,600 euros for 24 staff of URC to travel to Spain. We want to know who are these 24 staff, because you paid this money. Mr. Sol Tukashaba, capacity building, the experts. Last time we saw Pascazia denying that she didn't receive 738,000 euros. Sol Tukashaba, 733,000 euros. Emmanuel Liamuleme, 864,000 euros. Augustine Martin, 1.170 million euros. And Chris Ntegekarija, 828,000 euros. Luckily enough, we have some of the people here. We want you to tell us, because that means the project manager approved these payments, and even when some of these didn't participate in training, some of these experts did not come. So we want to know who took this money. How did consultants know who to recruit? How do they know these people are the best to recruit? as experts. On page 122, technical terms, bullet 3, specifically capacity building. The consultant suggests for the annual training program a scope between 4 to 6 courses a year. For you have about, the accountability you gave us has about, I think, 30 courses or more. But the program scope between 4 to 6 courses a year with a duration per course between 30 to 40 hours. Each course is limited to 20 people. The contract is here. I can share it with you if you don't have it. 20 people. You gave us accountability of 300, 288, 42. So you need to explain to us, project manager. Luckily enough, all these you are going to speak on oath. I have many. You'll forgive me. URC, you people, URC. You employed a project consultant for this project, the whole entire Spanish loan, when the work was at 90% finished. What was he going to do? This was, I will take you to section 53.3. Did you have, because you should have had a contract management plan. You did not have it. You did not ascertain the quality. And it's clearly stated in section 53.3.4. You further did not establish whether this company complied with the best practice. That is section 53.3.5. Section 53D, you should engage acceptance, you should manage acceptance procedures. Section 53F, the contract manager should appraise the performance of the provider and report to the procuring entity. All this was not done. So all your reports, you submitted monthly reports, all your reports lacked all these things. So you need to explain to us and the committee. Honorable Emma, you had something to say? But it's now clear you first signed a contract, the contractor went now to look for the money, not you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to say this to the team at Uganda Railway Corporation. I am a Christian, and by the grace of God, we are here. And the same grace is what God tells us to extend to people that do wrong. So I want to give the same grace to Godfrey and the team that both these vehicles at the price that they felt like it was good for them. But I want to ask a few questions. How long or what period of time did the contractor use these vehicles? Because we can also want to understand the depreciation.
3 years.
3 years. So a vehicle bought at about 180 million. Or maybe 25, because when I calculated 185. Do you think in 3 years it would have gone through that depreciation? No. So the mere fact that you got the vehicles back from the contractor, they were supposed to be kept at the corporation to help in transport activities. But you saw it best fit that you should use them. What do we call that? I want to ask the manager.
You're all going to respond.
I believe that is.
You're all going to respond on.
I believe that is what our constitution calls corruption, because you cannot just transfer things the way you want. You have not advertised. They have not checked whether these vehicles now are ready to be loaded, not meant to be disposed. So that I believe that is corruption. Then number two, last time when we were here, I wanted to know about our our things, our trailers. The trailers? The wagons. I remember I asked the managing director about our wagons, and I recommended through chair that it should put a statement down for these wagons. But now I have just heard from chair that they sold. That means I will say he sold, because he was the managing director. Isn't it, boss? So since you sold our cargos, our wagons, I believe now it is the highest time we should effect the next steps.
Yeah, he has not responded.
Which are here, but the next steps should be implemented. Thank you, Chair. I'll come back later.
And under what circumstances
Correct.
do you establish a cost of 4.8 million euros for capacity building, and then you come up with a needs assessment after? It does really. This is a. You say we need 4.8 million euros to train people, then you come up with the kind of trainings you need after. How? You start responding. Yes, Honorable Nathan.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair and Honorable Minister. I would want to put a question to the MD. It's unfortunate you have served in civil service for some time with a good record. Now you put your clean hands into dirty water. Who was the MD at that particular time? That's the answer I want. Just answer me.
Mr. Chairman, the MD was Stanley Sendegia.
Just go ahead.
He's not here.
Followed by who? Oh, you wait, just followed by who?
Okay.
Whom did you replace?
Okay, it is from the beginning, when the project was being prepared, it was Engineer Kateva. He was replaced by...
Just a minute. Mr. Kateva is here. Let him take a front seat. Let him take a front seat. And he tells us. Let's not beat about the bush. Please take the front seat here and tell us all this mess. Because I thought I told you that we are a family. We are after putting the railway back on the feet. Why don't you, when you go back, sit and realize, because we don't need to tell you about this pickup, blah, blah, blah. You should have identified it, together with the minister. Because you are together, you know what it is. Because you should say, here we made a mistake. The pickup was supposed to be 100 million or 80 million. We don't want the pickup, we want the money. Because the pickup, we have been misusing them, we have been using them. Thank you. So, let's get good answers and we move on. I'm telling you, me, I want people who cooperate. We're not going to suspend you from the rail. We want you to work and put the rail back on the feet. We have the trust in you. Most of them are corrupt. This man was a Nunura, this one. I remember him. A good engineer, you. How can we beat about the bush, yet you can guide us, and so that we can move on. I thank you.
Start responding to the question.
Chair, probably there's a question that came to me from Engineer Sevamara, the Honorable, concerning the loan approval from Cabinet. Yes, Cabinet did its process in a noble way and they approved the loan. The same loan came to Parliament. Parliament scrutinized and they made even visits to the agency and they were satisfied. But there's one thing that we needed to know, that there were conditions which came along with this loan. And I think that's where the biggest issue comes from. Whatever we are trying to discuss is emerging from the conditions that we put the loan on how to procure the contractors, of which this was a provision in the loan. And that's how we are emerging with this Imathia and then the other company. Then two, what Parliament did and the Cabinet was only to formalize the conditions which were coming with the loan. There was not much that would be changed. So we can say that from inception, there were a few issues that were would have been addressed early, but they didn't get addressed, and therefore it escalated to the aspect of the implementation, at least how it leads us where we are now. So I just wanted to say that it wasn't in a language that the member used, but I think the fact that Uganda wanted to see how they can revitalize the railway to be in operation, I would say we somehow really needed this contract so desperately. And probably we could not analyze some of the lapses that now we are discovering when we have done. And the fact that it was a direct procurement, it wasn't now formalizing things. I just wanted to put that to clarity, Mr. Chair.
Yes, but even, Honorable Minister, even if it was a mistake from the inception, the end user participates, and that is URC. By the time it gets to finance, you people are the ones who have made these quotations and the bills of quantities together with these companies. So you can't deny liability. Let's start administering oath.
Chair, just a clarification from the Minister. This direct procurement, was it from the contract? Was it the position of the financing partner, or it was a decision from URC? From your perspective, was it something Cabinet ever discussed that you'll have to, URC will have to do direct procurement?
Mr. Chair, from the practice,
Members, the Minister is the political head. Okay. The technical people are the ones who should be responding.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, from the practice, even while I could have not been in the Cabinet at that time, contracts that emerge and they have aspects of direct procurement, normally this emerges from the financing institution, which now it's the leading institution in the agreement.
Honorable Minister, if you insist on responding to questions, you'll end up in... you let the technical people carry their cross.
Honorable Minister, when we look at the circumstances of the loan, the appraisals and so on were not made by the entity. But I'm 100% sure that who negotiates, who are those people involved in negotiating the loan? How did the people come to these levels of the rates and understand what we are going to do? So, would it be right, Mr. Chairman, to get further information from the Minister responsible for Ministry of Finance that negotiated these contracts to understand very well what was envisaged in the project appraisal document? Because the information available seems to be starting at the contracting stage and then the financing agreement.
From the documents I see, it is our government that requested for consultants. I have a document here, you can pass it on, from Ministry of Finance, introducing consultants to the Spanish government. It's not the Spanish government that tied consultants on us. Can we start responding? Whoever is going to respond will be put on oath. We don't have time to waste. So if you are ready to respond, you tell us, they administer oath, you start. You know what the implication is, I'm sure. Whoever is ready to respond. Okay, clerk, administer oath. Let them first finish. You are ready, you are very ready. MD, through you, but Sims is itching to talk. Let's first consume his information. Maybe he has decided to come clean.
Okay.
There's a word shaping our future way of life.
Advance. And coal, metals and minerals like those mined by Glencore help make it possible.
Coal for steel and concrete helps make our homes possible.
Homes that can be smarter than ever.
Nickel for smart fridges that can help alert you when food's about to expire.
And zinc for smart power devices helps to make leaving the lights on a thing of the past.
Might help save a few dollars too.
At Glencore,
We're advancing everyday life.
I, Tukashawa Paul Muhire, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give touching the matter before the Parliamentary Committee on Physical Infrastructure shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to respond, one, on the pickups. One, Honorable Chair, you've said that those have just come. But honestly, even all these people here know that those pickups were second hand. They were old pickups. As a person that worked with the consultants, those pickups were bought from Cosmos. Probably we can get that information from the car dealer. And I think they were bought around 70 million. So what the Honorable Chair is saying, it shouldn't be, I think probably we've gotten that. Secondly, those pickups were too old. I think some were over 200,000 in terms of mileage. So to say or to think that 30 million was not enough for those pickups. Those pickups were old. They had two old tires. They needed repairs. So honestly, me as a person that worked with a consultant who was given an offer, I actually negotiated. I wanted to give him 20 million. Those pickups were worth 20 million in my own view. But you know, once you have used an item, you feel that attachment. Because as a key expert, as one of the people using the pickups, together with my counterparts at URC by then. So there is that attachment that you develop. You're like, let me take it, I repair, and it happened coincidentally with when I was receiving my NSF. So all the figures see that I received my simple NSF and paid the 30 million for the pickups. So the pickups are old, they're over 200,000 kilometers in terms of mileage. They needed a lot of repairs. The screens were shut, some of the screens were broken. So I think that's what I want to put to the information of the honorable members.
You are telling us we had, according to the AG contract, it's here, signed by URC, Government of Uganda. You have a project manager who approves these payments. The pickups that were worth 100 and if you convert, I want to say it in euros so that we don't make any errors.
Chair, the clerk can get for us exchange rate by then.
Really, can we get it?
Yeah.
148,000 euros.
But the project manager is there. How much were you supposed to pay for these pickups?
Chair, Chair, a point of inquiry.
Yes.
For my benefit, I'm interested in knowing the disposal of these pickups. Was it done by the consultant or it was done by URC? Consultant.
Consultant sold them.
So URC never took over the pickups. There was a breach of contract.
And the legal knew they had a clause in the contract for double cabins to revert to URC. And you paid the consultant full amount without reverting the 4 double cabins. Is that regular?
Chair, the officer, having taken oath, he has given us correct information that in fact the money which government thought they would buy new vehicles, in fact they bought, according to the officer, said extremely old. So that is also another issue. We want to know who paid for all the pickups, the value of a new pickup.
Yeah, the
Thank
ones
you.
who paid, but because of these people.
So, Honorable Kanu.
It's around 185. 185 million.
Chair, I wanted the
Double cabin.
PDU people. Yes. I wanted the PDU people and the project manager who managed the. Is he the same person who managed the construction? Because we are here on the pickups, I have big issues on the construction. These pickups, they are very old and peanuts. The construction. Chair.
Yes.
Through you, Chair.
The purchase of the pickups is 37,000 euros each pickup, amounting to 148,000 euros for 4 pickups. And they even claim they bought furniture worth 60,000 euros for that office they are renting at URC, that we have not yet seen where the money went. They claim they bought computers worth 40,000 euros. They claim they bought document management software at 35,900 euros. I don't know if that software is there and what it does. Tell us. Okay, since you are up, was this software purchased?
Honorable, I was an employee of the consultants. I was not involved in the purchase, but myself, I don't remember seeing that software.
Okay. Was a computer student's office, even there was another software of 40,000 for the student office. Computer students. You are training students, so you bought computers. Lucky enough, you said you are crossing to manage departments.
Honorable Chair, there was a training school at Narukorongo that was refurbished and 20 computers were bought, probably the training school director can, but some computers for the training school, around 20 were bought, and also computers for us as staff of the consultant and our counterparts.
Each computer was bought at about 10 million.
I don't know that, Honorable.
That is what is the...
Honorable, I was simply an employee, a management control employee. I was not the purchasing officer, I was not anything.
Okay, the project manager is there. You finish your personal statement.
Okay.
You are making.
Yeah, so, Honorable, it's not that, by then, just like I've clarified members, I was simply an employee of the consultant recruited from a HR consultancy. That is NFT First, it was True North, and then my contract was again sent to the NFT. So I was sourced and recruited from a HR consultant. That's how I got to know the project. That's how I joined in. Secondly, you've said, Honorable, that I received over 700,000. I remember my colleague last time honestly told you how much he received. 6 million. It's also in the same range. So we appreciate your investigations to ensure that there is value for money, but honestly understand that we did not receive this money.
Who took it? Because the contract states sold to Kashaba. You were paid 20,500 euros per month.
Honorable, I have come with my bank statement.
Okay, but I want you to tell us who took the money.
I've come with my bank statement of simply receiving a salary.
738,000, and URC approved these payments. So who took the money?
Honorable, I have here a copy of my employment contract. I have my bank statement. I have my NSF. You can independently verify. I was simply an employee contracted to do that specific work.
So who took your money?
You ask consultants, Honorable. Because
but these people paid, they approved the payment. Because you cannot, there's no payment that went to consultants without your approval. The contract manager approves everything. So where is these people's money?
I'm also looking for it, Honorable.
I think, Honorable Chair,
Honorable,
the project manager here, he can help us.
Yes,
Honorable, to tell the whole truth, even my last salary was not paid. We are paid peanuts, even my last salary was not paid. I'm still demanding for my money. So we honestly, personally appreciate this investigation to ensure that simple Ugandans like us really get what we are worth. If in the contract it is 100 whatever, then yes, we understand that was a consultant. Probably some percentage should go to the consultant in terms of other costs, but some good percentage should go to a consultant.
Chair.
Chair. First,
yeah. Thank you, Chair.
They said Boaz. Boaz is me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair. Me, I think we have the right person to answer these questions. The project manager who was approving each and every peanut that was going to concentrants. So to me, I think some people we have put them on cross for nothing. Exactly. Let the right person who was approving each and everything first give his statement such that we can go to the other ones. We shall be having the truth that we can go to the other ones. We shall be having the truth and the truth behind all of this. Because you may find he was the one pocketing the money for these guys. They also demanded their money according to their statement.
Information, Chair.
No,
Information.
Information.
Chair, as before I said that I think we should give grace to some of these people. We seem not to be pointing our questions to the right people. Now, that gentleman standing, I really feel pity for him. He's even crying for his last salary, for God's grace. I think we are not putting the bullets to the right place. I pity you, for Christ's sake. Let's just find what to do. Thank you.
But just before you go, because most of the questions are going to the project manager, they had budgeted for you to keep flying from Spain.
Honorable Chair, I never...
I see 39,750 euros. So we don't know if you have a home in Spain.
Honorable Chair, I've never gone to Spain.
So who took your money again?
Ask them.
But Chair, where is the project manager?
He's coming next class.
But Chair, I wanted the PDU people who initiated this. Chair, you are not allowing me to get the PDU team.
Okay, PDU.
Which was there, PDU and the contracts committee.
PDU.
Those who are there.
He's here. Should we start with the PD or project manager?
Project manager.
Okay, project manager, but yeah, we'll come to PDU.
Clerk, administer oath, project manager. People want their money, you are stayed comfortably on our samosas. No, that is project manager. No, the PDU is seated.
Chair, can I add some comment to make the point clear arising from his submission?
Can they first administer oath? He has already sat. You want to...
Manager to really be focused, to get a response, clear response, answering the other issues. Is it possible to allow me, Chair?
Please proceed.
Mr. Chairman, it is always common practice that bidding consultants do not make the consultants there inside in to understand the financials in their proposals. But the entity has an obligation to make it clear in their bidding document that we must see the staff during the inception meeting as outlined in the proposal, and that the costs are discussed and the revised inception report is made, which translates into the contract. Project manager, help us to understand whether all the issues that were presented in the proposal were implemented as is, because it would be the basis of your approval. Why do I want to make this clear? I have ever worked as a consultant in Uganda, and the leading consultants cheat us, which eventually made the government of Uganda clear that you must state the consultants, their rates, and show proof that they were paid. So project manager, help us, this committee, to understand whether the rates as communicated in the proposal and therefore in the contract was the basis of expending your grant.
Clerk, oath.
I'm disappointed. Project manager has disappointed our region. That name, as if it comes from our region, we are known to. Thank you, Chair.
Young Patrick, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give touching the matter before the Parliamentary Committee on Fiscal Infrastructure shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Honorable Chair, if you can give me your due indulgence, my Honorable Minister and the Director gave a brief to this committee, the genesis, the procurement, and approval and signing of this contract. And now the committee has been given information that Patrick Okanang is a managing director for all this loan the government of Uganda acquired.
Mr. Okanang.
That is not true.
Mr. Okanang, do not insult our intelligence.
Chair.
We want you, listen, we want you to explain, because Page 91, section 7 of that contract states the URC project manager shall supervise and approve consultant's monthly report within 10 working days period after submission. 2. This approval shall be the basis upon which payment of the consultant's monthly invoice shall be done. It means you approved all these payments. We want to know.
Honorable Chair, your evidence is that the contract was a lump sum. And we had to give you the breakdown for the figures that were in the contract. And that's why I was requesting, Chair, if you can allow a managing director then from the procurement and a procurement officer explains, so that for me who has just come to supervise the implementation, I have the facts that I approved a lump sum. And the lump sum is paid through the process, approval by the MD, approval by PS Minister of Works, approval by Minister of Finance, and
Mr. Okanam.
Yes, Chair.
Mr. Okanam. You are the one who initiates in your report. That is the first step of all these payments. So we have started with you as a project manager because it is your report that is sent to whoever finance works. Your report is the first report. So it means your report is the report confirming that these services have actually been done. This service was not done in 1 month. You had a training for 3 years, according to what you informed us.
Yes, Chair.
So you used to give monthly reports. This training has been done. We have trained, for example, your training. You have a budget of 36,000 euros. We want to know, where did you put this training of 36,000 euros? Because you approved the payment. So don't try to insult our intelligence beating around the bush. You initiated every step. Now you want you to account for it.
Chair, the payment was lump sum. And the consultant...
Are you trying to tell us?
Yes.
That you paid before all these services were done?
No, they were paid after the services
Which
were
means
done.
you confirmed that everything had been done.
Chair, by the time we commenced and received the 5 consultants, and as you see in the project, all the costs, almost 95%, is fees for the consultants. I have no breakdown for how a consultant is spending this money.
But you have a copy of the contract.
I have a copy of the contract.
So you are trying to say you
that
just
gives a
say
deliverable.
consultant wants 600 million euros, let me approve. How come you had the minutes even of the meeting at Silver Springs?
Information, Chair.
Chair.
Information.
Thank you. I want to ask, who is the head of the consultant here? And do we have Engineer Lobo here? Yes, Engineer Lobo. I want to know, are you the project manager at the consultant side?
Through the Honorable Chair, thank you very much, Honorable Member. I want to confirm I'm Engineer Benjamin Olobo. I am currently a board member of URC. I've been a board member since January 2024. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now, I want to ask the Managing Director, didn't we have, in-house consultants that we could use to save us from all this? Thank you. Back to you, Chair.
You
ever since I walked in, I sat quiet. The reason why I've been quiet is that maybe because I grew up in a village, I fear billions. But there are people who just do their fingertips like this and billions go. Very, very easy, like any easy load. To Chairman, I want to reiterate the statement that whenever technocrats are coming to Parliament, what they know is that they're coming to interface who? Senior 6 leavers. Okay? That's why you see us circling around that question. Because he's dealing with the senior 6 leavers. May I know whether you said these were lump sum contracts? I have cough and a rough voice. You said these were lump sum, it was a lump sum contract, therefore you had obligation to pay everything. Were the payments made up front or they were made against mileages achieved? Were there milestones for paying the lump sum rates? Or for you, what you knew was all this money has to go, regardless of the milestones? You know, for us senior 6 leavers, you better bring it to our level. If you discuss at your higher level, we might get lost, and it will take long here.
Honorable Chair.
How were you paying the lump sum rates?
Honorable Chair, the lump sum was paid on agreed training plan, and the
Honorable Chairman and the Minister, for someone who has sworn on taken an oath to be fooling us like this, as if he has not understood our questions, but he brings it in his own context, I see a danger.
I give you permission to deliver judgment.
Minister, for us, our questions are going to you. You are referring them to, is it ED or MD? MD, you are taking responsibility, by the way, for this kind of abuse.
Chair, since they had given you chance to deliver judgment, I want to, on behalf of my Vice Chair, deliver the judgment that, not judgment, but this gentleman should go to police, he shouldn't waste time. And it's a serious note, and the police takes serious interest. We also have other security agencies following you. Thank you.
Chair, I think so.
Okay, since you have heard.
Chair.
Since you want to say something before I finish?
I thought that...
Let's give you, because I'm delivering.
Kindly let me say it.
Okay, say it. That you want to go with it.
Yes, that this was a lump sum contract. We paid after the delivery of support to URC, advice to URC on a monthly basis, and we had the contract counterparts per department. So we could analyze what they have delivered, and we approve the invoice that goes through the MOD and to the Minister of Works.
Then, Mr. Okana, all of them are going to follow you. The question is, this contract for training was 4.8 million euros. So for capacity building.
Capacity building.
You made payments clearly that don't exist, because the people are here saying they have never seen their money. You have a budget for people traveling abroad from Spain to come and train. They are Ugandans, they are here. This company has got all its money. So we are asking you, because even in the contract it clearly states that they can only be paid based on your approval and your report. It means you approved that all these activities took place. For example, in the contract they state that bullet 3 of page 122, technical terms. The consultant suggests for an annual training program of a scope between 4 to 6 courses a year, with a duration per course between 30 to 40 hours. Each course is limited to 20 people. You people have submitted lists here of 300 people who trained, 288 people who trained, 44 people who trained. So all this anomaly, you people approved us to pay government of Uganda, and you are the project manager. So you are going to be taken to police.
Chair,
Chair, before he goes.
As we uphold that recommendation of just a moment of handing him over to police, let me know whether there was a contract management team.
Yes, Chair.
Or you were working alone. How many members were there on the team?
There was a contract management team.
How many were you?
We were 6.
Can they stand up?
Can they stand up?
Yes, Chair.
You tell us who are they.
Call out the names.
You call out the names.
You are seeing them, they are next to you.
Because when you walk out, they will be standing on your behalf.
Chair, just the first person was in a contract management committee, Isaac Natukunda. There is Robert Sekitoleko, who was then, there is Kwananga Patrick, myself. There is Pamela Ruchecherwa, she's here. There is Abubakar Ochaki. And
where is he? He was here.
And Patience Baita.
They should be standing up.
Who is the other one?
Whoever has been mentioned.
Patience Baita.
We're going to give all of you a chance to speak, and then we determine whether you are all going.
That is the contract management committee. That was formed after seeing the risks that were happening in the management of these consultants.
So these are the people who committed the government of Uganda to spend on services that didn't exist.
Chair is saying after. He said that it was formed after the risks.
After the risks?
Yes.
Chair.
He said some of these.
Let them speak for themselves.
Chair.
That's what he said.
Let them speak. You give them a microphone.
Thank you, Chair. On this particular contracts committee, thank you, Chair.
Your name?
My name is Abubakar Ochaki. I used to be the COO for Uganda Railways. COO, Chief Operating Officer. I used to be the Chief Operating Officer for Uganda Railways. I'm no longer into URC. In this particular case, I think this was formed much later, almost in the middle of the contract, at the end of the contract. And personally, I was very clear because I had participated in the evaluation. I did not even participate in any of the sittings from day one. Evaluation, so I could not.
You participated in evaluation?
Yes, sir.
I would want to take.
But I was very clear. Okay. I could not attend any of the meetings.
Okay, for this one, but yes, there are still questions. For this one, you can sit.
Yeah, an evaluation. I would want him together with
the next person. We want to know those who committed government to pay for services of capacity building 4.8, of which some didn't exist.
Thank you, Chair. Pamela Chechera is my name. The team was formed in September 2023, and I was the acting chief finance officer then, so I was representing the department. During the meetings, questions came up on issues which were in the contract, but we were informed that this was a lump sum contract for which a fixed amount is to be paid.
But you were informed by who?
By the contract manager.
Who is that?
Mr. Kanang. And also that the only deliverable was the report, the monthly report. So we would sit and review the report. And would
report was made by who?
By the consultant, consultants. So it would be submitted to the contract manager, the project manager or whatever, and he would bring it and would discuss it. And would actually review the report to see whether trainings have been done, to see whether the staff attended the trainings, and also to follow through whatever was meant for our particular department, because each department now on the team which was formed, each department was represented, so each one would check their area.
So, Chair.
Pamela, the internal audit, I've read your internal audit reports. Even the internal auditor said you people are not doing due diligence. You are just approving. Where's the internal auditor? This is the new one. But you have read those reports because I have them here.
Chair and members, rightly observed, I'm the new one, and I have my senior who was acting that time. But I have read the report, and it's what we have indicated in the report.
So, Chair, so the audit department did their part. Now, finance. You said you did your part in the procurement of vehicles.
There's that musty smell again. Damn.
Damp Rid traps excess moisture to eliminate musty smells. Get rid of the damp with Damp Rid.
He's a member of the contract management team.
Yes, but I'm asking the other one. When fire will come later, why did you clear the vehicles, the old ones? Having known for you as a finance, you know the exchange rate. It was good amount. They went to Cosmos. Why did you okay as a finance to pay?
Through the chair. These vehicles were owned by the consultants, and we were not involved in the process of the consultant selling them.
But you know the issue is
procuring, giving.
You knew the cost we are going to buy each vehicle, but you people cleared this payment to the consultant. Sorry, if I may call him consultant.
And when he bought old ones, you didn't even bring a report. You didn't.
The other gentleman told us you bought them from Cosmos at second hand at 70 million. Yet we had, according to this contract, we had budgeted about 185 million per vehicle.
So because the contract was lump sum, the contract manager's hands were tied. Even though it's an old one, let me pay the whole thing.
We don't have time, you know, we have other business. So you summarize, and we have other people to deal with, the big bosses. We are still at the small level.
Chair, one question may be to Pamela, because she looks to be telling the truth. I just want to know you, Madam Pamela. They said there were 6 workshops people attended. You as a person who was on that committee.
At 36,000 euros.
Yes, you as a person who was on that committee. Did you approve the payment according to the report they brought or to the attended workshops?
According to the report which they brought, which report included the trainings and who had trained and the attendance. So each department in that committee would confirm that the staff of those particular departments attended the training.
Pamela, you are not on that committee.
To this committee. Did you see them attending these workshops? You can confirm to us. You who was there, did you see them attending these workshops? Apart from the reports?
Yes, I did. And our role was, then I was the acting head of finance, so I would be the one to send the staff to attend the training.
No, the question is, you spent 36,000 euros in a workshop or workshops. Where were these workshops?
Chair, I wouldn't know the costs.
But you approved them to pay the consultant. Because the first stage is your report. It is very clear. Your report guides Ministry of Works, guides Ministry of Finance. You are the first. But the rest we are coming to them, even the big people. But we have started from the ground.
If finance is not comfortable with the human resource people who attended, you as a finance, they are asset things. On the issue of the vehicle, because these are assets, why did you clear? Because the finance, you may say people who trained, I don't know, you ask human resource. Now you as a finance and the head of the procurement and engineering, the mechanical. You of finance, how did you enter these vehicles in your books? Did you look at the vehicles because you are there? Were these vehicles new? They were old, according to what the consultant person was saying. Why did you pay the money, the old vehicles, and you paid new? If you realize, what did you do as a finance?
And additionally, where is this furniture you bought at 60,000 euros? Because they should have put it in the office space you gave them, since you are in finance. Their office space, according to this contract, they were supposed to pay for it. Who is taking the money? Where is the software you purchased at 35,900 euros?
Thank you, Chair. We were not paying for individual items which the consultant was supposed to buy.
Yes, but your monthly report would confirm this has been delivered. We need to pay.
Yes, for example, when it was realized that the consultant had bought only 3 pickups instead of 4, the project manager wrote to the consultant to ask where the 4th vehicle was.
And he ended up taking it?
No. The pickup. The pickups.
Doesn't your boss next to you have the pickup?
Yeah, but they were supposed to be 4.
But doesn't your boss have the pickup?
I'm not aware. I'm not very sure.
Chair,
so Chair,
procedure.
We are wasting time. Let's have the gentleman. We have so many things to do.
But Chair, just 1 minute.
Chair,
so
first wait.
I need to first ask this finance. So you are trying to confirm to us that actually you did not buy 4 cars, you just bought 3, right?
3, and the old ones.
No, whatever it is.
Through you, Chair, we were not the ones purchasing the items.
So how many cars were bought?
By the consultant.
Yes, by the consultant.
3 pickups.
So it is not 4.
No, there were 4. In the end, Mr. Kanang, I'm told, wrote requesting for the other one. And he took it after.
No, it was never bought.
Chair, inquiry. I don't want people to think we are accusing you. Don't you have the pickup? Okay.
Chair, I beg your indulgence.
Can we just hear the last? We have other people to question.
No, it's not a question, Chair. Procedurally, we raised pertinent questions to the project manager, which are passing away, and he kept noting the question. Wouldn't it be procedurally right that now that he has gone on oath, he answers the questions we raised to him, so that it will help feed the report of the committee based on his confessions after taking oath?
So we postponed. But let him also, because that judgment, I'm already going to take it. Let the gentleman also have a fair hearing. Tell us.
I'm Engineer Isaac Natkunda. I'm the Chief Civil Engineer. I was appointed to the committee in September 2023. I remember in October we had a meeting, and for the record, we did not approve any payments. We only reviewed. The CFO might have participated in payment because of her position, but as a committee, we did not discuss payments. We only looked at the reports. Maybe for clarity, the experts were not only doing training. They had other roles, including hand-holding and other activities in the departments. So when we would meet, we would look at the report and say, did this happen in your department? The activities, not training. Did this happen in your department? Yes, they did it where it was applicable. The payments were approved separately, but even then, our first meeting, which happened in October, we asked about the vehicles. The record was that we were supposed to provide 4 vehicles. We asked for the 4th vehicle because there were 3 pickups. It did not happen. And I think we attended around 3 meetings. We asked the contract manager to move forward.
Was the contracts manager bigger than your committee?
Yes.
So, and for us, we asked him to.
I am asking you a question.
No, I don't know how to phrase that.
Did he have more
Okay,
power
what
than this
Chair
committee?
is saying is that there's a committee of about 5 people who should be more powerful than the contract manager. The contract manager only gives guidance for you to take your decisions.
Actually, I just wanted to say that the committee did not work. It did not work. We met 3 times, asked questions. Some of the committee members actually refused to attend completely, one of them. We attended around 3 of them. We attended around 3 of them, 3 meetings. We did not say ourselves influencing the project and moved slow.
So who was influencing the project?
The contract manager was the one in control of the project with the accounting officer.
Who was the accounting officer?
At the time we came, it was
Managing Director.
Mr. CPA Bulega.
Now we have one. Now we
But
need a bigger fish.
whatever we discussed and we had minutes, so if there is any approval we did, we stand by our minutes, not by anything else.
So what did you do in those 3 meetings?
We asked for information. The reports which were given at that time, we discussed them. I said around 3 meetings. We asked for the 4th vehicle. It don't. Actually, it was the biggest problem.
Just you are trying to avoid responsibility. The 3 meetings you are looking for 1 vehicle.
No, the 3 meetings we approved the reports of that time. We looked at the reports of that time.
Yes, it means you hold responsibility. You approved reports that influenced payments. Because the report from the contract, from the project manager would clearly state that this service has been given. So we need to pay.
No, actually, if I can recall, every meeting we had a matrix of actions that we wanted implemented. So it is not that we necessarily we are fully aligned to the approvals, but the payments went on because we were told it was lump sum, so we had no capacity to stop payment.
Who told you it was lump sum?
Chair, information.
Chair.
Chair,
Honour
information.
Chair. Honour Chair. Honour Chair.
Chair, information.
Honour Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think first of all what we are getting is that number 1, the committee did not exercise its mandate. But Chair, as we are discussing, I think critical for us to note is that we are dealing with a chain of events. Number 1, we have the consultant himself. For the consultant, the first point of contact and the first line of defense is the contract. Are you the contract manager or the? No, Chief. What is your title? You are the consultant or the contract manager?
Contract manager.
So the first line of defense, Chair, is the contract manager. The second line of defense should have been the committee and finance. Yeah? And that is why it's critical, because finance is supposed to be checking before approving what the contract manager actually submits. The third line of defense is your audit, which I believe did their job, had findings. Those findings should have been recommended to management for action, which action didn't take place. So, Chair, the information I want to give is that all those 3 lines of defense must categorically account for the actions that they undertook, because finance, before approving, has to make sure that they do checks. The committee had a responsibility to oversee the contract manager, but it's clear that the contract manager overpowered the committee and they absconded their responsibility. So I don't believe that we have to handle these people one by one. That is a chain, which chain ultimately led to a loss that we are discussing.
Supplementary, Chair, I wish to supplement.
We need to wind up on this.
This contract committee agreed with buying 3 old vehicles, contrary to the contract. That's one. And they went ahead to ask for the 4th car, having consented to receive vehicles from Cosmos.
I think from what they said, they realized an anomaly of 3 vehicles instead of 4.
But what they had received was not the content of the contract agreement, because from the confession of one who bought the double cabin states that they bought double cabins worth 70 million, not 185. So the contract committee cannot be excused for causing that financial loss to allow the contractor or the consultant to buy all the double cabins when you are aware in the contract agreement they should have bought double cabins worth 150 million. Secondly, as I conclude, the contract committee must be held liable as a team. To allow the contract manager overpower them and you continue sitting on that committee as members to the conclusion of the project, and you do not raise objections, unless they furnish this committee that they raised objections with the way the contract manager did his work. Otherwise, to have sat back, ignored duty, they can't be excused for that. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I wanted procurement and contracts. These people are contract management team. Now, the other officer and engineer here, they are telling you that they sat 3 times. The first sitting, whatever they were proposing, the project manager was quashing. So they saw that their relevance of the committee. In fact, this committee, I think, was just put because of the law, that it is just a requirement, but it did not do its work. Because they raised about the car, that's why they growth, and the contract manager. So, Honour Chair, I feel so constrained. And manager, I'm very sorry your name sounds to be coming from a very honest region. I think your color has made you to change when you crossed here. But Chair, contract manager, this thing was open. Why did you appoint members? Why did you appoint people? And when they bring advice, you refuse. So, to me, Honour Chair, I think with that gentleman, you rule on that with him.
You want to say something?
Engineer, want to say something?
Yes, I want us to look at one thing. First, as we look at the committee, when was it appointed? Because you cannot associate our committee with the vehicles. By the time we are coming in, the 3 vehicles were on. Yes.
So what were you managing?
we were reviewing reports, looking for what belongs to your department, whether it is there.
So which department are you from?
Civil department. For example, in the civil department, is there anything that was done this month?
Okay, for example, for you, what did they do in your department?
In the month of review, that for example, I think in one of the months, they had done property management, a draft property management policy. So I was looking at it. Was it done? Yes, it was done. No, so As to how much was paid, that was
clarification,
not part of
Chair.
our-
No, we are wasting time.
Chair, one
Mr.
question.
Kanang, let's give you one chance and we finish this.
Chair, clarification.
Chair, with your due diligence, the appointment as contract managers is from accounting officer. Now my colleagues are denying that they are not appointed as a contract manager. Now you are crucifying me as a person who tried to implement.
The accounting officer is here. Let him also speak.
Implemented the project because of trying to implement a government project. Now I'm a sacrificial lamb.
So who should go with you? You tell us.
No, all these people manage the contract. Why should
Sir,
I be?
Sir, I think what the engineer, Sir, members, I think what the frontline engineer is saying, by the time they were appointed, the cars were already supplied. Is that what you said? When they appointed your committee, the cars were already supplied?
But no, we are not. Don't put this issue only on the cars. We are looking at several payments that were made. The cars is just a small, and we have not even gone into the civil works of the refurbishing.
Chair, information.
Let's hear from the accounting officer. Mr. Kanang says they want him to go alone.
Chair, information. Just a quick inquiry as the accounting officer comes. I think what is critical, for the committee, like the chair said, we're not looking at only the cars. Number one, you were managing a contract, which contract you must have in, out, understood. Number two, you must have had terms of reference that you were working with as a committee. So maybe as the accounting officer comes, he could respond whether the terms of reference were there as you are appointing these people into the committee, and whether indeed you were following up with this committee to check that they were doing their work.
Supplementary.
Supplementary, but that is the
Chair,
last from this side.
Specifically on the issue of vehicle, based on the issue of the terms of reference, if at all it was there, did it state that the contractor would procure the vehicle and after the end of the contract would return the vehicle to URC? If it was so, did the contractor return the vehicle to URC? If not, what are the implications as per the terms of contract? Should the contractor be held liable jointly with the officers who fail to ensure compliance? Thank you.
Of course, members who are here in this discussion, I read the contract, I read the clause. These vehicles, maybe if you want me to repeat it, but we are zeroing down on vehicles, and the vehicles are just a small component of a very big contract. Let's see the vehicles first of all. Those vehicles are property of URC, or not the consultant. The four people. This is Mr. Joshua, who has a pickup. Mr. Kanang, you have a pickup. Tukashaba, you have a pickup. Moses has a Pajero, Ochaka has a Pajero. But the Pajeros are not among the four pickups. Now, all those people who purchased pickups belonging to the government, when you read section 7, part 3, these pickups, vehicles shall revert to URC at the end of the 3 years capacity building service.
Chair.
The 3 years ended, and instead these vehicles were taken by people.
But Chair, on those vehicles, if the contract says pick up and the consultant bought a wagon in the government, if it was a wagon and they buy a pickup, it will be a query. So if you said the wagon should not go.
No, the contract, as per the contract we signed with them,
but
we costed 4 pickups, and there are 4 pickups.
What I'm saying, Chair, if the pickups were the ones supposed to have been bought, and somebody bought a wagon, it is also part of government. It would have been a query to these ones if we...
No.
Because the wagons were not bought using the funds of the loan. There is a fourth person is working with Tukashaba. He's mentioned the name, I've just forgotten. What was his name?
Honorable Chair, he's called Joshua, but also for more information, those Pajeros were also bought by the project money. Why? Because they bear the red number plates.
Yes,
because they are also project vehicles, including the Pajero.
No, members. Our interest is in what was in the contract and what we spent on, and those were 4 pickups. So, accounting officer, explain your role.
Thank you, Chair, through MD. Musoke David Ulega is my name. I was appointed acting managing director from March 2023. I find a contract which was signed and executed through a strategic partnership between the government of Uganda and the Spanish government. Maybe for noting, there was an advance payment within that contract, which I believe that money the consultant used to procure whatever was procured as desks, computers, and maybe vehicles. So I get the reports from the contract manager and look at what has been done and his recommendation to pass the payment, and I pass these to Ministry of Works. So around August 2023, we have a meeting with the PS Ministry of Works, whereby we get anomalies and the issues being raised here, like repeated activities within the monthly reports, plus internal audit reports. So what the PS advised is we need to beef up management of this contract. Thus, I appoint the 5 people mentioned who have been standing here, apart from Baita Patience, who is not here, to augment the activities of the contract manager. But that doesn't take away the role of the contract manager. This team was to coordinate departmental activities which appeared to be repetitive within the monthly reports, and maybe those suspicious activities these people are claiming to have executed. Maybe finally these reports have recommendations, which recommendations we are not supposed to end with a contract manager. These recommendations were supposed to trickle down to departments for implementation and further execution. I submit, Chair.
Okay, you realize there was a red flag, you set up a committee to help you deal with this, but we still lost money. And you know, as an accounting officer, you take full responsibility.
I'm aware of that, Chair, but I didn't close this contract. Otherwise, for vehicles, which is obvious, it is...
I don't want you to talk about vehicles. That is the smallest component of this contract.
Yes.
So who closed it? Who is going to escort you?
In closure, I left the organization 2 months to closure.
When did you leave? 20?
I left in January 2025.
2025?
Yes.
2 months to close.
Just a little. I don't know whether the former accounting officer is misrepresenting advance payment because he has not taken oath, so he can talk anything. Accounting officer, how do you recover advance payments after you have given to the consultant or to the contractor? How do you recover them?
They are recovered through monthly invoices, which was being done.
Necessarily monthly or against milestones in the contract. The contractor or consultant has done this, the total cost is this, and you continue deducting. That's our A-level senior 6 perception, but let me hear your practice.
To my recollection, they were being deducted from certain milestones.
Because you've said here on record that it was advance payment was part of the contract, therefore the contractor used the money to buy some of those things. I just wanted you to know the little we understand is that yes, advance payment in most cases is 20% in Ugandan contracts, but they have to be recovered from each certificate. There you don't mislead us. At least we are taught that in A level we know.
CID escort the accounting officer and the entire project management team to police. Can we proceed?
Chair, I wanted the procurement people who brought this thing first.
Yes, can we first have this implemented? CID, kindly stand up, the entire project management team. You authorized payments that did not exist, causing government financial loss. The rest you shall find at police.
But Chair.
I've ruled on that matter.
Okay.
As we proceed, MD, I told you we are looking for wagons, and we have discovered you sold 81 as scrap in Uganda last year. So you can start there. Then we continue with the discussion.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Yes, through my minister. Yes, we disposed of about 82 wagons, and the procedure which we use, the user department identifies the assets under their respective departments that have reached their end of their useful life. After that, Mr. Chairman, this information is submitted to the top management team of URC. And after this one has been approved, then this process is also taken to the board. The board also approves the process. And a board of survey is constituted who look at the price of these items to be disposed of. And the members of the disposal team or the board of survey from the Ministry of Works, we have the Chief Government Evaluator, we have a representative from the Ministry of Finance, Chief Government Evaluator, Accountant General's Office, and also from URC. So a team was able to move around and they came up with the reserve price, which reserve price was approved, and we advertised in the papers, and the highest, best evaluated bidder took off or was able to buy this scrap as indicated. I thank you.
Who bought the wagons?
Mr. Chairman, we have several contractors, several service providers who bought. I would request maybe the head PDU to give us the list of the contractors who bought.
Thank you, Chairperson and the honorable members. As MD has elaborated, we used the PPDA rules to dispose of those wagons. 2 firms were merged the best. One was Diamond Steel, and another one is China Chang. For the accreditation, we used our chairperson and the members. We got the accreditation from PPDA, which allowed us only to deal with the end users, the manufacturers of the steel, and the firms which came up with the evidence. They are the one which were eligible to participate. Thank you. Yeah.
Under which law in PPDA do they guide you to deal with manufacturers?
Yes, we give justification where you are getting that accreditation. First of all, we had the challenge whereby...
No, we are dealing with the law.
Yes?
We are now dealing with the law. PPDA, you are quoting PPDA. So what clause in that PPDA authorizes you to deal with manufacturers?
There's a clause for accreditation I can check and give it to the committee.
I thought you have this on your fingertips.
I don't have it on my fingertips, but I can check.
How many minutes do you need?
Yes?
How long do you need?
Just 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Can we proceed?
Chair, I wanted to know the people who are in procurement department then and the contracts committee then. Chair, now that the people who are there, can I proceed, Chair?
Kindly proceed.
I think they give the person the microphone. Chair, with your permission, may I know the officers' names and the title he held then?
Thank you, Chair. My name is Tom Chimera. I was the head procurement and disposal unit at the time the procurements were taken.
Okay, thank you. Head procurement, why did you do a direct procurement?
Yeah, we did it. That I received from the user department, which justification was approved by the accounting officer then,
So,
Mr. Charles Kateva.
I want to go slowly. So, who was then in the user department? Because you must have received a note from someone.
It was Engineer Obara.
Obala, is he around?
Yes, he's around.
Yes. We have 2 microphones. Through you, Chair, I'm sorry. So, Engineer Obara, why did you recommend the direct procurement? Before I come to you.
Through you, Chair, there was a letter written by the then finance officer written to MD. The MD was by then Engineer Kateva. The letter contained the justification and the request for procurement through direct procurement.
So you wrote to him, but you also relied on a letter from the finance.
Yes.
Who was the finance then?
Stephen Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley Sendegea.
Where is Stanley? He's the one who has. Where is Stanley? He also become an MD. Okay. So you said that letter was written to Kateva? Yes. So now procurement. You are supposed to have guided these people on the method of procurement. Why did you take a layman's request? For him requesting, he was just requesting as a user. Why did you guide that there is another procurement method? Because in procurement, engineer is a lay person.
Thank you. In this particular case, at the time the justification was made for a direct procurement, there were correspondences at the top level.
Top level from where?
Minister of Finance.
So, Minister of Finance said, do direct procurement.
It was mentioning the company that we should deal with because it was a tied aid.
So, you have that letter from the ministry saying, do, the ministry said, do direct procurement?
No.
They said what?
The letter was saying, I cannot read it verbatim, but as far as I recall,
The letter was giving you a company.
it was giving a company that we should deal with.
Okay.
So on the basis of that, the user department initiated the procurement.
Which is okay. Chair.
Honorable James, just a little. Who is supposed to approve the method of procurement? Is it from above or it's supposed to be a contracts committee? Since
First-
you are the custodian of the PDU law in that
Yeah,
entity.
first is the accounting officer.
Approving it?
Yes. If you are
On,
doing
on,
the
on whose
procurement,
recommendation?
The recommendation of the user department.
Not of the contracts committee.
The contracts committee comes in later.
Okay.
Honour Chair, from the little procurement, there is a department whether which form of procurement, what they want is the service. But you, is there any record you wrote to the MD or to Minister of Finance saying that you would wish this, though you have received it? Did you write in your own technical competence? Because you are the head of PDU.
I did not.
Okay, that's what I wanted. MD, why did he use direct? Now the man who was supposed to advise you didn't advise you. And can we, through you, Chair, can we get that letter? We see the person who signed, whether it's finance. This is Kisanja, not normal. Whoever, so MD, why did you go direct? This is where the mess started from.
You are the MD from the inception of this project.
Yes, yes.
Is it true that you first signed a contract with this consultant, and this consultant later went to Spain to source funds?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For the record, my name is Charles Kateba. I'm an engineer by training. I retired from Uganda Railways in 2020, 15th October 2020 as the managing director. I had been managing director since 2013. Allow me to give you the background of this project so that we start on the same page. Around 2016 or early 2017, we issued a notice of termination to the Rift Valley Railways, which was managing the concession of Uganda Railways and Kenya Railways. Realizing that we will need a new set of skills, knowledge, and attitudes to manage an operating railway as opposed to managing a concession, we approached friends in Spain to help us source funds for capacity building. As a background, these people had approached us earlier, around 2015, asking for any opportunity to work with Uganda Railways if there was that opportunity. So when this opportunity arose, they had made another visit in 2016, we approached them with that request. On top of that request, we had given them a concept of the Kampala multimodal hub, which I had put in place to try and utilize the surplus land at URC that was not being used by RVR, that had been left in our hands. What we're looking at is having
a one-stop center for the standard gauge railway when it is built, for the meter gauge that we had, and also, if possible, have bus stops, a bus station. So we had gone to Spain to look at some, similar facilities so that they can help us design that one-stop center. When they came to present their concept, now the termination of RVR was coming on board. So we said, can you also assist us further? And that's the beginning of this negotiation or discussion about training, about the capacity building. Now, the capacity building we are looking at is to help this nascent new URC to develop skills, both technical and management skills, to manage a revamped railways. And we're looking at this project running for 5 years. After 5 years, then URC would be able to move on its own. So the conditions of the funding they got were for export promotion, whereby an entity in a donor country that has sourced a contract to provide goods or services now goes to the export credit agency in the country to apply for funding for the host country. And this is the mode in which we operated. So they approached initially the export credit agency in Spain, I think FEMI or something like that. Okay, FIM, and they gave them an intention to fund, which they introduced to the Ministry of Finance. Now, it is against this intention to fund that they now wrote to us to work with this contractor to design a project for funding that will be funded by the Spanish agency. So therefore, as my Honorable Minister explained earlier, the issue of single sourcing was already a precondition of the funding. And usually the form of contract is determined by the financier. If you borrow World Bank money, you use World Bank rules. If you borrow EU money, you use EU rules, as long as they do not contradict with your national rules. If they do, you can negotiate a waiver. You can have abridged documents, but usually the financing country takes the upper hand. I beg to say.
So, it is clear that based on that intention to fund, a contract was signed first, and it is this contract that the consultant took to Spain to get the funds.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Before the contract was signed, there was an higher activity, because when we went to Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Works, they demanded from us several documents, precondition to funding, which included a pre-feasibility study approved by the Ministry of Finance Development Committee, a feasibility study approved through the same, and we went through all these stages. First of all, our board, then the Ministry of Transport, of Works and Transport, Ministry of Finance, and backwards and forwards, until we reached the point of issuing a contract for, actually two contracts. One contract was for the capacity building, which is training and design work. It actually involves two design components. One was for the multimodal hub. One was the preliminary design for rehabilitation of Kampala-Malaba line, and the other one, the third one, which was the major one, was the capacity building.
They had the option
Chairman,
of evacuating Dr. Kizabese to the hospitals in Kampala, not to Zira. They still refused to do it. So you can see a lot of medical negligence, and for us we think
on capacity building. When they went to ministry, they accessed or they were promised money for the capacity building alone. But on our side, we thought it would be wise that we do not stop at capacity building, because I'm sorry to say, but most times capacity building is misunderstood and sometimes abused. So we said we cannot go to government and the people of Uganda to ask for money for just capacity building. Can you add tangible deliveries, like, for example, rolling stock and infrastructure development? That's how we got the second component of the revamping of Kampala.
Imagine being able to build
line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
there's components. Then I also want to bring out another
just
thing.
a minute, because
as a result of the feasibility study.
Please.
Okay.
Now we need to know, because it seems we are with the right person. Explain to us how you came up with 4.8 million euros for capacity building. And who did the needs assessment? When was the needs assessment done?
Mr. Chairman, as I pointed out, there was a feasibility study. So it is this feasibility study that...
Done by who?
Consultants.
So the company did a feasibility study?
Yes.
And did it have the needs assessment?
Of course, they interrogate us to determine...
Which means you approve?
Yes.
So you gave them a green light to spend 4.8 million euros on capacity building?
Yes.
Okay. So
I don't have the exact figures.
It is 4.8 million euros.
You will forgive me if I am wrong on the figures, because I was notified yesterday. I have not looked at any document. I've been out of the organization for 6 years. So the things I'm saying is what I remember.
It is okay.
To the best of my knowledge.
You are protected, but it is 4.8 million euros.
Okay.
And your predecessors are here. So you approved, this company did its own feasibility study and said, I need 4.8 million euros to do capacity building. From my interaction with your team, this was more or less refresher courses, because we expect everyone who had been hired to have had the qualifications necessary. This is meter gauge, not standard gauge. So we can call it refresher courses. We have seen instances where you find, for example, askaris who are trained in watchmen, were trained in customer care, change management, several other people. So I want you to help us understand what component of that needs assessment did you approve and how many people? Because the contract states that they were going to train 20 people. The contract is here. You look like the person from your presentation. You are the one in charge. From what the ministry, from what URC gave us, he gave us a list of about, I may say, maximum of 300 people who trained. So enlighten us on how, first of all, value for money. This is a loan you are getting for refresher courses, 4.8 million euros. This is an equivalent. I saw your PRO doing the math, 21 billion or something. The PR, I saw them on X. What did you compute? 20 billion. We are borrowing from Spain to do refresher courses at 20 billion. Help us justify.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I told you, I don't have benefit of the contract with me.
Can I give you my copy?
I don't think in this short time I can appreciate everything in that contract. Maybe I will ask time to review and answer, because it's not the contract alone. There was a project proposal, there was a feasibility study, and it is against this feasibility study that we draft the final implementation contract. In my own understanding, this training was not refresher course
So if I gave you this, you would need time. If I gave you a copy of the contract, you'll still need more time.
I'm sure there must be.
What was it for?
There was preliminary design of Kampala-Malaba line, revamping of Kampala-Malaba line, or rehabilitation of Kampala-Malaba line.
No, please.
And
I think you need to look at this.
And then there was
someone.
At least that's what I said. This is what I recollect.
You look from an informed point of view, so that you don't.
So, Chair, as the former MD is looking.
But I wanted to explain the kind of training we were looking for.
You first confirm the figures.
Yeah, he wants to explain what he was looking for, unfortunately, may not have been delivered, according to him.
Yeah, because I was...
A feasibility study, which URC board sanctioned or okayed in May about this line. Who carried out the study in Nyobara? Because feasibility... Do you remember somebody who carried out at a cost which MD said, the board said it should not exceed $1 million? Do you remember the company which carried out the study?
The
feasibility
study.
Yes.
Yes. Through Chair, the company was Conceptual.
Conceptual. So, Conceptual did a study. In their study, it even included whatever concentrate. Is this the same company?
It is the same company.
Consultants, I think, is just a pronunciation.
So, Honour Chair, this is where the board told you to get a farm. Instead of getting a farm to do, you got this farm, and this very farm is the one you constructed. No. Because the board, senior, I will pick information later. The board approved 1 billion to get somebody to do feasibility. That feasibility, and then that very construct, did you do double payments? Because the board approved $1 million. Now, construct. How does construct come to do a feasibility? Then it is the very company which is going to implement. Because the board was very clear, Chair. He said, get somebody to do a feasibility. Having gotten a feasibility is when you look for someone. I don't mind whether the construct Spain what. Now, you as an engineer and MD, did you have something like engineer's estimate? The board members who are there, where did you get this cost of $1 million? Board, secretary of the board, by then in 2018, maybe board chair you want. How did you come to $1 million?
Thank you very much, Chair.
But the deputy chair is worried about the engineer. He says, do you need to sit?
Yeah, he's a senior, he can sit.
Thank you, through you, Chair, and the honorable members. It is unfortunate that I was not on that board, but when you come in, you try to get the archive and look for documents. Actually, we have been having a problem of ministries appointing boards without considering the institutional memory. Actually, that's what even we requested the ministry, that when they're appointing boards, they should at least leave there one person or two who can easily orient other boards and even give an overview of what has happened. Unfortunately, this did happen for our board, which came in. So everything, we were just starting from zero. But when I was going through the board, the board decision, I think the MD and management tried to give me some documents, which I went through. The board indeed recommended for a feasibility study. It's not our board. It recommended for a feasibility study, but it did not particularly single out the company. It said procure a company to do a feasibility study of 1 million, but I could not get documents of that breakdown of 1 million. But I saw the resolution of the board.
Yes, yes. Now, MOD, were you there? You are the secretary of the board then?
I was the managing director.
Yes. Yes. He's not the secretary. Is the
But the legal, where are you in all this? I don't know how
the
you are
legal was-
comfortably quiet.
The legal who was there
You should
then?
actually be the one.
The legal who was there?
explaining.
Where is the legal? Then, the legal who was there? Where is she? You are there. Who was
Thank you,
there?
Chair. The legal who was there was Miss Hopert Hyret Situ.
She's around?
No, she did not come.
She did not come.
Yes, please.
So, Honour Chair, Ms. Obala, I see some construction here. As you are the civil person then? Yes. Did you have like a rough engineer's estimate? How did these people come to this? Because very many people are coming to these vehicles and procurement. The biggest chunk is here. That's where my interest, Chair. I want to invest my interest. Did you have like an engineer's estimate? How did they come to these constraints and what? And the MD said they had friends. Since this person was already a friend, how come you paid a friend to do work which he's going to carry out? MD, I wanted to know your relationship with this friend because you said he was a friend. I also want. So, Engineer Obala, did you provide the MD with the engineer's estimate? Because my interest is in this 70 billion project. These cars, other members may take interest. I'm interested in this one.
The 1 billion.
This, you know, the contract had a big chunk of trunk refurbishment works with the mafia, which is the same as constraints. Did you give in your department like an engineer's estimate to the board, though the consultants have come? But even you said to refurbish here, you and the mechanical person, you must have come up with this something to guide. Did you guide the board on how much, or you just left the consultant to quote its own thing?
We relied on the feasibility and the feasibility
Of the consultant. You didn't have.
We did not prepare the.
So, by the head, if you are busy and you had no time, did you write to Minister of Works, Engineer in Chief, to help you in this, or the Engineers Registration Board, or UIPE, to help you because you are busy, not because you don't know, but you are busy? Did you write to the UIPE or to the Engineer in Chief to help you in coming up with this?
No, we did not write.
You do not write. So, Chair, I need to get interested, Mr. Obala, with the team which was there, since we had the rail calipers and what the mechanical people, they did not seek for technical backstopping from the engineer in chief and also from the professional body. So, Mr. Obala, don't you think you led the country into this mess, or there was an upper hand in this contract? Because you would have done your part, because as PLO we are dealing with those upper hands now. Don't you think there was a lapse on your part, engineer? But MD, did you write requesting for your internal engineer's estimate? And the Obala refused?
Mr. Chairman, all the work that we did, starting from the concept stage, was done with the assistance of the user department.
So user department was Obala. Was what?
For consultancy services, it was all the departments, because the training would be done in those departments. Now, for permanent or the infrastructure services, it would be the chief civil engineer to work with the consultants to compile the needs. So everything that was done, in fact, when they were doing the feasibility study, I took the technical team to review the interim report to Spain. That's when we determined the full scope of the feasibility study.
Okay.
Remember, the promise to fund was only for 28 million euros. But the feasibility study was for the full scope of rehabilitation of the line, totaling 330 million euros. It is as a result of this feasibility study that we have procured the project for revamping of the Malaba line, funded by ADB. So these terms of these technical requirements have been determined by the user department.
Okay. Now, the user department, MD, is saying the user departments failed the MD. Honourable Chair, MD, there was a engineer. I want to say something. You didn't fail the MD. You said user departments.
Yeah. We didn't. The consultant did not work independently. We worked together. We would go to the field.
No. What I wanted is you, like this construction, you come out with a preliminary engineer's estimate. If the consultant would have quoted maybe 16 million, for you to sell MD that our independent is around 14 or 20 million euros. So Bala, according to the MD, even including you said you did not do your part. I think that is a lapse. But Chair, MD now who changed the scope, because the minister said somebody in 2022 in February, they changed the scope and reduced it. Instead of the other side, they came to Mukono. May we know who changed the scope and where are the minutes of the change of the scope, and did the board approve? If the board approved, and MD, did you come to Parliament for change of scope? If the scope changed, why didn't you reduce on the amount of the money? Because the minister was very clear that the scope was changed. Then, Chair, I wanted the contract and the performance report for the construction. I know that they have brought, because I'm interested in the construction. These cars, I may not fail grasp, but I'm interested in this one. So, MD, may I know why the scope changed? And who changed? Who authorized? Why did you change the scope?
As we wind up, because
yes.
Members have to go for cookers.
The original scope was Tororo, Malaba, and Kampala, Namangwe. That was the original scope.
The original was what?
Tororo, Malaba, about
Okay.
15 kilometers. And Kampala, Namangwe, about 12 kilometers.
Sorry.
So they changed.
The original scope was
A total of 27.
Tororo, Malaba, then Kampala, Namangwe. Okay, that was the scope.
Yeah, that was the original scope.
Why at the tail ends? Kampala, why not Jinja? Mentai? No, members, let me ask. Why did you choose the tail ends?
Now, at that time, passenger services with Kampala, we are stopping in Namambe. So we wanted to cover that stretch. Then the stretch of Tororo, Malaba, was considered because that's where all the cargo and the traffic converges. Even when we,
Engineer, maybe what you should say, do you have a report that guided your decision?
To change the scope.
Yeah, there was a justification written.
Okay, can we have that report?
Yeah, but
So,
I'm not in office, so
Chair,
I rely on.
the thing had Tororo, the contract had Tororo Malaba also included. But here, in February, the relevant application was changed to Kampala Mukono.
Yes.
You left
Now-
out Tororo.
Now,
And you said it is where they converge.
Now, why Mukono was included? Because the corporation was to extend passenger services to Mukono.
Honorable, they should submit the report and you review it.
So, Chair, I'll review, but Chair, the report had Tororo and here. Now, because the passenger, honorable members, unless this scope had that they are building houses, because a rail line which takes passengers, even passengers' weight is low.
Honorable Waluswaka, you are making observations which should be done during
Okay.
report writing.
I beg to submit. Thank you, Chair.
MD, have you looked at the contract? This is the last. We need another day with the team. Next week, Tuesday, preferably, we'll discuss and communicate. Have you looked at the amount of money for capacity building?
Yes, I have.
Are you now comfortable?
I'm knowledgeable, but I'm not comfortable because I haven't looked at the details of what that 4.8 stood for.
But they are there. I opened the page for you even.
There are many pages behind.
No,
They
they brought the page.
The page I have been given gives the amount.
4.8 and the details, how it was going to be spent.
Yes, but the capacity building 4.8 has activities.
All the activities under 4.8.
And the outputs. I need to internalize with those outputs and see where
But
they
I have
within
opened the page.
our desires or not.
How many people are you going to do capacity building for at this cost?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot answer
Okay,
that
let me
question.
help.
Reward your curiosity with a free night by staying at 5 Hyatt brands. At Grand Hyatt Hotels, every detail is crafted for life's most celebrated moments. At Hyatt Regency Hotels, it's the people beside you that make every stay meaningful. With Hyatt-centric hotels, every corner has a story.
Training program, a scope between 4 to 6 courses a year. With a duration per course between 30 to 40 hours. Each course is limited to only 20 people.
Mr. Chairman, what I wanted to bring out is this. You're saying that is saying 4 courses per year. If over 3 years, that would mean 12 courses.
It's okay. That's a total of how many people?
If it is 20, a minimum of 20 people per course, that would be 20 times 480 times 3 is 240. 240 persons. However, this depended, for example, on URC availing these 240 people. This depends on the courses that have been agreed by the user department and the people to be on those courses. Now, those details, I do not have them.
But you are, the key, you are the accounting officer, you are the one who participated in this contract. Now we are looking for value for money. How can a government borrow 20 billion? The conversion was done by their PRO, but it is 4.8 million. But let me use Ugandan shillings. Borrow 20 billion to do refresher courses for a maximum of 240 people, because these are enshrined in this contract. What kind of value for money is there? Really, how how could you as an accounting officer even think or envisage to go to Spain to borrow money to train refresher courses of 240 people maximum?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, let me go back so that we are on the same page. URC was listed for concession in 1992. From 1992 up to the time of concessioning, training for specialists was curtailed. From 2006 to 2018, Uganda Railways did not run trains, so they had no skills for running training, neither technical or managerial. Uganda Railways of 2016 had a skeleton staff of about 20. We were going to inherit operations of which were being run by Rift Valley Railways, which Rift Valley Railways would go with its management. From 2006, when RVR took over the management of Uganda Railways and Kenya Railways, they moved all senior management to Nairobi. So there was no senior management in our people. So the training is not refresher course. This was supposed to be fundamental, basic training for managers, advanced training for managers, basic training for technicians, and operating staff. That is one. Two, since 2006 to 2018, there had been so much advancement in technology for managing trains. This was supposed to be a chance for us to train people in the current technology of managing things. In fact, in the words of my former chairman, Mr. Hannington Karuhang, he told me, Charles, with due respect, the time you have spent, I don't think you can run trains. The time you have spent not running. So therefore, we need this training. So, Mr. Chairman, let us not think that this was for refresher training.
Okay.
There were no people to refresh.
Just some clarification.
Yes.
So you are telling us, after the concession, the experts left, and you hired the people. From your submission means the people you hired didn't have the necessary skills. Two, you're also telling us this training was very good. It was going to equip these people with a very relevant knowledge to run these trains. A training of 1 day that does not have a degree, that does not have a certificate, because they told us some certificates, some trainings didn't get certificates. Members, you are here. So a training of 1 day would make an engineer a superstar to run a train if he could not run a train.
My expectation was we were going to hire consultants with the necessary skills and set up classes. That is one. Have instruction for weeks, even months if possible, so that these people have the necessary skills. Uganda does not have a railway training school. In fact, even in the region, there is one railway training school in Nairobi, which is mostly for technicians and junior staff.
You see, you are engineer. I keep interrupting you
Mr.
because
Chairman,
you are not getting the
Mr.
point.
Chairman, that
Just
I am
tell me
here.
that. No. I'm bringing you to the reality. For you are giving us a very good story. And there are very many engineers, even us, who would appreciate, let's train our people, okay, let's take them maybe to Spain, train them properly in these institutions. But even the training school director is here. She's one of your staff. She's here. Can you stand up? She was the training school director. Am I lying to these people? Okay. So she's here. The training lasted 1 day.
Can I respond to that, Mr. Chairman? That is a fact of contract implementation, execution. But that's not what we set out to do. I cannot answer for contract execution. If I was in place, maybe I would have renegotiated.
Okay, but as you say, because you are saying it was not for 1 day, but the contract states the duration of a course is 30 hours. So 30 hours, even if you break down a day, maybe if maybe 1 hour, you are training for 1 hour a day. Okay, but let's understand. Deputy Chair, I want to.
Chair, I just wanted to ask from the MD, who does approval of confirmation of funding for a procurement?
The MD, the accounting officer.
The accounting officer. So how will you approve this? You're now jumping away from the responsibility. Did you confirm availability of funding for this procurement?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
What was your source of knowledge for approving?
The letter from Minister of Finance.
Not any internal resource?
No.
Not based on the details of the activities?
Mr. Chairman, I told you that we had a pre-feasibility study that determined the global requirements. On the basis of the pre-feasibility study, a detailed feasibility study was done. Now, it is that feasibility study that established the components of the capacity building, including the training needs assessment and management support.
Members, how do you want us to proceed?
No.
In this week, we want to summarize. Members,
yes.
You must move.
Yes.
The vehicle is waiting for those going for caucus. So, I just want, how do you want us to proceed with this matter?
Okay.
Because we are going to reschedule them, they must come back. So whoever is speaking, I don't want questions, I just want how you want us to
Thank
proceed.
you.
Honorable Emma.
There comes a time sometimes when we have to accept that I think this is not the right day to have at this meeting. I believe through your chair can get another day so we can get back to the bottom of this. Today our mighty party is having caucus, so we cannot miss, which I'll come back to you later.
Even the opposition has the caucus. So, Honorable Maju.
NRM, not opposition.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my proposal is going to be in three phases. I think first of all, to give comfort to the former MD. I am not familiar whether his retirement was occasioned by age or something else. But to give comfort to him, Chair, I'm waiting for your attention.
I'm listening.
To give comfort to the former MD, number one, we need to give you a copy of the contract. Go review it, internalize it, analyze it. The time you come back to face this committee, you should be able to respond to every question. Two, Chair, the reason I'm saying that is because we are debating conceptualization versus actualization. Yeah, and it is, I'm seeing him struggling. Two, the procurement team needs to come back with the relevant prerequisites that the questions that we have given you around procurement, the decisions you made, the rationale of those decisions also need to be presented when you're coming back to face this committee. And then three, Chair, in the interest of a full understanding of the life cycle of this project, I think we also need to analyze and see who in the Ministry of Finance needs to face this committee and respond to the relevant, because they keep referring to Ministry of Finance and directives and all that. We need to be able to also get the Ministry of Finance to respond to the relevant questions. I thank you, Chair.
Okay, we shall invite Finance as well on a day because they must also appear. Only one more person. Yeah. How do we proceed?
Certainly we are going to close and look for another day. But once again, I'm Engineer Sebuga Chimeze from Budiebo County. For the civil engineering team, as you come back, the chairman guided that you have to give us a report. In that report, demonstrate why the Tororo Malaba section was removed from the original scope, and tell us the actual works that were increased. There could be other activities which you did that didn't envisage between the Kampala to Namamve up to Mukono. Demonstrate those. There could be earthworks, there could be drainage works, and even the rail line itself. So give us that report that indicates the original scope on the left-hand side, but also the revised scope on the right-hand side, showing the cost drivers so that we are comfortable this side. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chair, I beg your indulgence. I want the MD on this contract of 16 billion and the one of 16 million euros and the 3. If we could get the contract, then for the supplies, the invoices, the person who cleared the performance reports, the payment certificates, and the person, the consultant who cleared the payment, since he's the very one who did this. Chair, this is what I'm interested in. And I don't know if there was some value for money audit, our technical people. Since this has been an old thing, the report from the Auditor General on this very project, this is, Chair, what I wanted. And Chair, I want to request through you that the MD, these are the senior civil servants who had since then left, we give them time and documentation so that you give them a fair hearing. But there is a big fish somewhere, I think, in the ministry, and when you come, you have the chair or the clerk, you can give the clerk information so that we call people, otherwise you might be sacrificed for nothing. I want to thank you, Honourable Chair, and I implore our technical officers, in your own way, you are not supposed to be partisan, but you support NRM and PLU. Thank you.
Members, we are going to adjourn this meeting to Tuesday, and we expect everyone to be present. Pardon?
Chair.
Even those who have gone to police, we shall bring them.
Chair, I've just been consulting with the MD. Tuesday, the team is appearing before the COSASE committee.
So Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
Wednesday it is. So Wednesday we have to start early because that will be the last meeting. So if you can be here by 8:30, because we have plenary and we need to expedite. So Wednesday everyone should come prepared to explain everything that has been said. So many of you have been comfortably seated behind. I believe you had come to respond to issues, and I believe next week you will. So I wish you a good afternoon, and thank you, Honorable Minister. We have concluded. You still want to speak?